There is no accident in your presence here today. You have been led to this moment, not by chance, but by the silent working of your own imagination. The world you see before you is nothing more than a reflection of the thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions you have entertained. And now I tell you, your time has come. You are no longer waiting. The millions you seek are already yours. But you must first accept this truth, not with the rational mind that questions and doubts, but with the inner knowing that what you claim within must manifest without. You do not need to chase, beg, or toil endlessly for your wealth. The moment you assume yourself to be the one who has it, the entire universe conspires to make it so. See yourself now as the one who has already received. Feel the weight of success pressing upon you, the joy of financial freedom coursing through your being. Walk through this world as one who has no lack, no need, no limitation. Because what you assume with conviction becomes the law of your life. If you persist in the feeling of already having, it is impossible for the world not to comply. Doubt not. Let no external appearance shake you. If today your senses tell you a different story, ignore them. Do not look at the world and say, I am still waiting. Instead, say to yourself boldly, it is done. Gratitude is the bridge. Speak as if you are already in possession of your wealth. Say, I am so thankful for the millions flowing into my life. I feel the abundance surrounding me. Speak it until your words become flesh. The path is already laid before you. Your time is no longer in some distant future. Your time is now. Walk in faith, claim your millions within, and watch as the world bends to fulfill your assumption. Everything you see, touch, and experience in this world is nothing more than a reflection of the thoughts you have persistently held within. The reality you call real is in truth nothing but a shadow cast by your imagination. There is no outside force shaping your life, no external authority deciding whether you will have wealth or struggle. The only determining factor is the state of consciousness you choose to occupy. You are not separate from your desires. The millions you seek are not something outside of you waiting for the right conditions to appear. They already exist, but they must first exist within you before they can take shape in the physical world. The moment you assume and accept wealth as your reality, the outer world must rearrange itself to mirror that assumption. There is no other way. So the mistake many make is in believing that their imagination is simply a form of fantasy, an escape from reality. But this is the great misunderstanding. Imagination is the only reality because it is the source of all things. Everything that exists, every building, every piece of technology, every fortune ever made, first existed in someone's imagination before it took form. Nothing comes into being unless it is first claimed in the unseen. So what does this mean for you? It means that you must assume the state of the millionaire now before your senses confirm it. You must walk as though wealth is already yours, speak as though you already have it, and think from the position of one who possesses limitless abundance. If you continue to believe that you must work towards it, or that it is something you may have one day, you will forever push it into the future, to live in the end. See yourself in possession of the millions. What does your life look like now that you have it? Where do you live? How do you feel? Who do you help? The clearer you define this reality within, the faster it solidifies in the external world. Do not concern yourself with the how or when. The bridge of incidents will unfold naturally, in ways you cannot predict, but that is not your work. Your work is to hold the assumption firmly, unshaken by any contradiction, in the present moment. Doubt is the only thing that delays the process. If you look at your current circumstances and allow them to dictate your belief, you have made the outer world your master instead of the servant it was meant to be. The physical world only reflects. It does not create. To change the reflection, you must change what is projected from within. Your millions are already here waiting for you to accept them the moment you embody the feeling of being wealthy. The moment you claim it as your truth, the world must comply. The law is simple. What you assume and persist in must harden into fact. So assume wisely, persist faithfully, and let the world conform to the reality you have created within. The greatest deception in this world is the belief that time separates you from your desires. You have been conditioned to think in terms of waiting, striving, and earning, believing that what you seek is always in the future, just out of reach. But this is an illusion. The truth is that there is no separation between you and your desires except the belief that they are not yet yours. The moment you claim something is true within, it is yours, for creation is finished, and everything already exists in the unseen. When you desire wealth, you are not creating it from nothing. You are simply becoming aware of what already exists in another dimension of reality. It is not something that must be built over time, achieved through struggle, or brought forth by external conditions. Your millions exist now, but they can only become visible when you assume the state of already having them. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law by which all things come into being. Most people delay their blessings by constantly acknowledging their current limitations. They believe that their bank account, job, or circumstances dictate what is possible, but the outer world is just a reflection of past assumptions. If you continue to dwell on the lack, if you keep telling yourself that wealth is coming one day, you are unknowingly pushing it away. You must take possession now, not tomorrow, not next year, but in this very moment. How do you do this? You shift your awareness. Right now, close your eyes and imagine yourself already in possession of great wealth. Feel the joy, the relief, the confidence that comes with knowing you have more than enough. Hear the conversations you would have. Experience the ease with which you move through life. This is not daydreaming, this is the creative act. When you persist in this state, it must become your external reality, for the world cannot help but mirror what you are conscious of being. Doubt is the only thing that delays manifestation. The mind, conditioned by time, will ask, but where is it? Why hasn't it appeared yet? These questions keep you bound to the illusion that you are separate from your desire. The truth is that your assumption is already working. The unseen forces are moving, aligning circumstances, creating the path. But if you look at the world and say nothing is happening, you are stepping out of the state of having and back into the state of waiting. There is nothing to wait for. Your wealth exists now, and it belongs to you the moment you accept it. You must not concern yourself with how it will come or when it will appear. Trust in the law. That which you assume and persist in must become fact. When you embrace this truth and live from it, time will dissolve, and what once seemed distant will be right before you. The promise is now. Claim it. The greatest barrier between you and your desires is the need to control how and when they appear. You have been taught to believe that success comes through effort, strategy, and external action. But this is a misunderstanding of how reality works. Your wealth, your abundance, already exists, but it cannot reach you as long as you are consumed with figuring out how it will come and when it will happen. The moment you let go of these questions and rest in the certainty of already having, the unseen forces will move in ways beyond your comprehension to bring it to you. The mind, conditioned by logic and limitation, wants a step-by-step process. It seeks reassurance, asking, what do I need to do? How will this happen? But these questions arise from doubt, and doubt is the only thing that delays manifestation. When you truly understand the power of your assumption, you will no longer need to ask how or when. You will know that once you claim something in consciousness, it must appear in your world. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust that nature is at work, even though you cannot see the process unfolding beneath the soil. The same principle applies to your desires. The moment you assume yourself to be wealthy, the moment you feel it is true, the process has begun. But if you constantly question whether it is working, if you look around and say, "I don't see anything changing," you are uprooting the seed before it has a chance to grow. The unseen forces, those greater laws that govern all of existence, will move in ways you cannot predict. Your job is not to force the path, but to remain faithful to the end result. Your millions could come through an unexpected opportunity, a sudden breakthrough, or a sequence of events you could never have orchestrated. But these events cannot unfold if you insist on micromanaging the process. The moment you let go, you open the door for the universe to work on your behalf. Detachment is not about giving up. It is about trusting completely. It means releasing the need to manipulate circumstances and instead resting in the knowing that what you have assumed must come to pass. It means walking through life as if your wealth is already here, not anxiously searching for proof, but living in the confidence of already having it. If you find yourself doubting, remind yourself, "I do not need to know how or when. My only work is to assume the feeling of already having and trust the unseen to arrange the details." The moment you detach from the process, things will begin to shift. Paths will open, people will be drawn to you, and circumstances will adjust in ways you could not have imagined. Trust this, let go of control. Let the unseen forces move mountains on your behalf, for they will, if only you allow them. Wealth is not something you pursue, it is something you embody. The moment you believe wealth is outside of you, something to chase, it will always remain just out of reach. But when you understand that wealth is a state of being, you shift from striving to receiving. You do not become wealthy through effort alone. You become wealthy by assuming the identity of one who already possesses it. Everything in your life is a reflection of the state of consciousness you consistently occupy. If you see yourself as someone who is struggling, if you speak about lack, if you constantly affirm that money is difficult to obtain, then your world will reflect that belief. But the moment you assume the identity of a wealthy person, not in arrogance, but in certainty, your external world will have no choice but to conform. Ask yourself, how does a millionaire think? How do they carry themselves? What are their daily habits, their thoughts, their actions? They do not walk with hesitation. They move with confidence. They do not speak about lack, they affirm abundance. They do not look at price tags with fear, they know money is a resource that flows to them effortlessly. If you truly believe that wealth is already yours, your entire demeanor will shift. Start by adjusting the way you speak. Words shape reality, for they reveal the beliefs you hold. Stop saying, "I can't afford this," or "I wish I had more money." Instead affirm, "Money flows to me easily," or "I always have more than enough." Even if your external circumstances seem unchanged, hold firm in this new language, for it is planting the seeds of a different reality. Then, shift the way you walk. Confidence is a sign of wealth. A wealthy person does not rush in desperation, they move with certainty, knowing that everything they desire is already theirs. Stand taller, breathe deeply, and embody the presence of one who has already achieved success. The world responds not to what you wish, but to what you are, and you must become it internally before it manifests externally. Next, align your thinking. Wealthy individuals do not dwell on problems. They focus on solutions. They do not see obstacles as roadblocks, but as stepping stones to greater abundance. When faced with financial challenges, ask yourself, how would a millionaire handle this, and act accordingly? Instead of shrinking in fear, step forward in faith, knowing that you have already won. Your external world is simply a mirror of the state you persist in. If you continuously occupy the mindset of one who already has millions, the world must arrange itself to match that assumption. This is not theory, it is law. Let go of the belief that wealth is something distant, something that requires years of struggle. Assume it now. Live as though it is already yours, and reality will reshape itself to prove you right. You are not waiting to become wealthy, you already are. Walk, speak, and think accordingly. The only thing standing between you and the life you desire is persistence. What you assume to be true, what you repeatedly claim within, must by law manifest in your outer world. But the mistake most people make is abandoning their assumption too soon. They look around, see no immediate evidence, and let doubt creep in. Doubt is the only enemy. It is the force that keeps you bound to your old reality, preventing the new from taking form. You must understand that the world you see is simply a reflection of past thoughts, past beliefs, past assumptions. If you have spent years believing in struggle, in limitation, then your external world will still reflect that for a time, even after you change your assumptions. But that does not mean your new reality is not forming. The unseen forces are at work, arranging circumstances, aligning opportunities, shifting the very fabric of your existence. The only thing that can stop this process is your own impatience, your own wavering in belief. Think of a seed planted in the soil. It does not sprout the moment you place it there. Days, even weeks may pass before you see evidence of growth. But the process has begun the moment you planted it. If you were to dig it up every day, questioning if it is working, you would destroy its ability to grow. The same is true for your assumptions. The moment you assume something is true, truly feel it to be real, the process begins. But if you waver, if you return to your old doubts, you halt its progress. Your only task is to persist until it hardens into fact. No matter what the outer world shows you, hold firm in your inner assumption. If your bank account still shows lack, ignore it. If circumstances seem unchanged, persist. The world has no choice but to conform to your dominant state of consciousness, but you must remain faithful to it. Many people give up just before the breakthrough. They assume wealth, they feel it, they begin to see small changes, but then a challenge arises and they fall back into fear, into worry, into doubt. They let the external world dictate their inner state, instead of understanding that their inner state is what dictates the external. This is why persistence is everything. How long must you persist? Until it is real, until the outer world bends to match your assumption. It does not matter how long it takes. What matters is that you do not waver. You do not check for evidence. You do not question. You do not seek validation from the world. You remain firm in the knowing that what you have assumed is already yours. This is the secret. Not wishful thinking, not hoping, not trying. It is knowing and persisting in that knowing until it takes form. Doubt delays, fear repels, but persistence creates. Hold your vision and reality will be forced to conform. It is law. Gratitude is the final key that seals your reality. When you are truly grateful, you confirm that you already possess what you desire. You do not beg for it, nor do you wonder if it will come. You know it is yours. Gratitude is not just a feeling. It is the ultimate act of faith. It is the silent yet powerful declaration that you have already received, And in that confirmation, you accelerate the arrival of your desire into the physical world. Most people express gratitude only after they receive something. But this is backward thinking. Gratitude must come before the manifestation, not after. If you wait to be grateful only when you see evidence, then you are still operating from doubt. You are still assuming that what you want is separate from you. But when you are grateful in advance, you are stepping into the state of already having, already being, already possessing. And when you persist in that state, the world must rearrange itself to prove you right. Think of how you feel when you have already received something wonderful. There is no anxiety, no doubt, no impatience, just peace and joy. That feeling is the vibration of having, and it is what draws your desire to you faster than anything else. When you say, "Thank you for my financial abundance," even when your bank account says otherwise, you are making a declaration. You are telling the universe, "I know it is already done. I am already that person." Many people unknowingly delay their blessings because they are too focused on when and how their desire will come. They keep checking, worrying, questioning. But gratitude dissolves all of that. The moment you step into gratitude, you release the need to control. You are no longer concerned with the how because you already know it is yours. This trust creates the perfect conditions for manifestation, allowing unseen forces to move without resistance. Gratitude also shifts your focus from lack to abundance. When you dwell on what you don't have, you amplify that reality. But when you focus on what you do have, even if it is only in imagination, you align yourself with more abundance. You train your mind to see opportunities, to recognize wealth, to expect success. And as you persist in this awareness, it must externalize. Each morning, before you even open your eyes, affirm, "Thank you for the millions that are already mine." Feel the joy as if it has already happened. Walk through your day in that energy, knowing that it is unfolding perfectly. Let gratitude be your proof that your reality is already shifting. This is not wishful thinking, it is law. You do not receive and then give thanks. You give thanks and then you receive. The moment you make gratitude your default state, you step into the life that was always meant for you. It is already yours. Everything you desire already exists. The wealth, the success, the abundance. It is not something you must chase, beg for, or force into being. It is something you must claim. Your imagination is the only reality, and what you persist in assuming must become your experience. Time is an illusion. The moment you accept your wealth in consciousness, it is already yours. You do not need to know how or when. Your only task is to trust. Live in the state of already having. Think and walk as one who possesses millions. And persist until the world bends to match your inner conviction. Doubt is the only enemy, and gratitude is the final seal that confirms your reality. When you are grateful in advance, you accelerate the arrival of all you desire. Now, step forward with certainty. The wealth you seek is not in some distant future. It is here, now. Assume it, feel it, give thanks for it, and watch as it materializes in ways you could never have imagined. Your time has come. You will have millions. Thank you. Do you believe that results can manifest in just 1 hour? That is the power within you, the ability to create your world at the speed of thought. Your mind is a creative force, and whatever you believe in, you will see. Your personification. Let's talk about the nature of belief. You see, belief is the seed of creation. The moment you choose to believe that something is yours, that belief sets the process into motion. It doesn't matter how long or short the time seems to be. The key is in how firmly you believe that what you desire is already yours. Once you believe it, it begins to take shape. It's not about how long it takes. It's about your unwavering trust that it's already done. The moment you believe, you can learn about sleep rather than some ambiguity in regard to it. Now, to make this work, you must master your mental imagery. Your imagination is your most powerful tool. When you close your eyes and vividly picture the life you want, you're not daydreaming, you are planting the seeds of your new reality. The clearer and more vivid your mental images, the quicker they will turn into physical experiences. If you want results in an hour, focus on what you desire as if it's already here. Feel the joy, feel the satisfaction, and feel the gratitude for what you have already received. You must also understand that time is merely a concept, an illusion that clouds your perception of reality. In the spiritual realm, there is no delay. What you desire can manifest in the next moment. The only thing standing between you and your results is your belief in the time it takes for it to show up. When you accept that it is already done, time bends to your will and results follow. Good. But there is a secret to making it happen quickly. Trust. Trust that your desires are already fulfilled. Do not question how or when they will arrive. Do not try to force the manifestation with effort. The more you trust, the more effortless the process becomes. Relax and let your faith carry you. Feel the end result as if it's here now. Imagine how you will feel when it manifests. Embody the emotion of your fulfilled desire and hold it, because the emotional vibration you carry is what pulls your manifestation closer. In that moment, you are no longer waiting for results, you are living them. This emotional connection shortens the distance between you and your desire, allowing it to appear almost instantly. Allowing it to appear almost instantly. It's not about how much effort you put in, it's about the faith you carry. The more effortless you make it, the quicker it will come. When you believe, without a doubt, that your desire is already yours, results will appear in the blink of an eye. So, when you ask for something, know it's already yours. Hold that feeling, and in just 1 hour you will begin to witness the results that match your belief. The universe is always listening, always ready to bring your vision to life, but it responds only to the belief you hold in your heart. You don't need time. You need faith. Belief is the foundation of all creation. The moment you decide to believe in a reality, you set into motion a process that shapes your world in alignment with that belief. It is through belief that you tap into the infinite power that governs the universe, the same power that brought everything into existence. It's not about waiting for something to happen. It's about having an unshakable conviction that what you wish for already exists in some form, just waiting to materialize. Your belief is the seed that will sprout into reality. Just like a seed planted in the soil, belief requires nurturing and trust to grow. The seed doesn't question when it will sprout or whether it will become a tree. It simply grows because it has been planted with the right conditions. When you plant the seed of belief, it must be nurtured with thoughts, emotions, and faith. Your mind is the soil, and the stronger the conviction, the faster the seed begins to grow. The process of creation starts in the invisible realm of thought. What you cannot yet see in your physical reality is already unfolding in the unseen world, shaped by your beliefs. The moment you begin to believe in something, you enter into a creative process where your thoughts begin to align with the desired outcome. This is where the power of imagination comes in. When you imagine yourself already living the life you desire, when you believe it with every fiber of your being, you are laying the groundwork for it to appear. The law of attraction, the law of assumption, and the law of cause and effect all work on this principle. Belief precedes reality. What you believe is what you will see in the material world. The challenge is not the creation itself, but the level of belief you can maintain. How deeply do you believe in your ability to manifest your desires? The deeper your belief, the quicker the results will materialize. Doubt and uncertainty slow down the process as they create conflicting energies that oppose the desired outcome. This is why it is essential to maintain a strong, unwavering belief in the fulfillment of your desires, regardless of what the external world may reflect at the moment." End quote. Think about the way you would feel if your desire were already fulfilled. Would you feel joy, peace, excitement, or fulfillment? The emotions that accompany your belief are just as powerful as the belief itself. Your emotions create an energetic vibration that matches the frequency of your desire. When you feel what it would be like to have your desire now, you are vibrating in harmony with that reality. You may feel like the last time in your life. In this state of alignment, the unseen world responds by moving your desire into physical form. Alignment is not something that can be discovered. The time it takes to see results is not determined by the external circumstances, but by the strength and consistency of your belief. In reality, time is not a limiting factor. It is simply the length of time it takes for your inner conviction to materialize into physical form. When you believe wholeheartedly that your desire is already yours, the manifestation is inevitable. It's like mentation of the form. The time that seems to pass between belief and result is merely a reflection of your inner conviction and your ability to hold steadfast to that belief. Belief is not just a thought, it's an experience. The more you live from the place of knowing that your desire is already fulfilled, the quicker it will show up in your physical world. When you understand that belief is the seed of creation, you realize that the results are not only possible, but already on their way. Your belief is the force that shapes the world around you, and with it you can create anything you truly desire. Mental imagery is a powerful force that governs the creation of your reality. It is the gateway to manifestation, the bridge between the invisible realm of thoughts and the visible world of physical form. When you imagine something, you are not just daydreaming, you are actively shaping the world around you. The more you pay attention to the way you think, of the way you feel, of the way you act, the images you create in your mind's eye serve as blueprints for the life you wish to build, and they begin to manifest into your experience as you consistently nurture them with belief and emotion. The mind is not a passive observer of reality, it is a creator. Everything that exists in the material world was once an idea, an image, or a thought in someone's mind. Great inventions, works of art, and even the most extraordinary accomplishments started as images in the minds of those who dared to dream. The mind cannot distinguish between what is imagined and what is real in the physical sense. When you create vivid, detailed images of your desires, your subconscious begins to accept them as real, initiating the process of manifestation. Your primal inventory process goes into action and brings about the gradual development of mental image. The clarity of your mental imagery plays a crucial role in how quickly your desires will take form. The more clear and detailed the image, the stronger the signal you send out to the universe. Imagine a house. If you merely have a vague notion of a house, you may not be able to picture its shape, color, or the way it feels to walk through its doors. But if you focus on every detail, the color of the walls, the design of the windows, the warmth of the kitchen, your mind begins to treat this image as a reality. When your mental picture is clear, it carries more weight in the realm of thought, and the universe begins to rearrange itself to match the image you have formed. The emotional connection you have to the imagery also plays a significant part in the speed of manifestation. When you create a mental image, feel the emotions associated with it. If you imagine yourself living in that house, experience the joy, excitement, and peace of having already achieved your goal. This emotional charge amplifies the image and aligns you with the vibrational frequency of the reality you want to experience. Your emotions act as a signal to the universe, telling it that you are ready to receive the manifestation. It is important to note that mental imagery is not just about creating a picture in your mind and then waiting. It requires consistent focus and attention. The more often you revisit the image, the stronger it becomes. Repetition is key in cementing these images into your subconscious mind, where they will begin to influence your actions, your beliefs, and your reality. As you continue to visualize, your mind will start to look for opportunities that align with your desire, and your actions will become inspired by this vision. When you align your thoughts with your mental imagery, and when you take inspired action toward that image, the physical world begins to shift. Doors that once seemed closed open. Opportunities you had not considered present themselves. People, places, and circumstances begin to align with the picture you have created. This is the power of mental imagery in action. What you see in your mind is mirrored in your life. The more vividly you imagine, and the more frequently you return to these images, the faster your desires will manifest. Your mental imagery is the key to unlocking your true potential and shaping the world around you. With clarity, belief, and emotion, you can create anything you desire simply by envisioning it with your mind's eye. Enjoy the world in a new way, because today is the day you get to enjoy what you desire. Time as we perceive it is nothing more than a construct of the mind, a limitation we place on ourselves to measure progress and organize events. In truth, time does not exist in the way we have been led to believe. It is a human-made framework, created to make sense of the flow of experiences in our physical world. However, when we begin to understand the true nature of reality, we realize that time is simply an illusion. And the moment we accept this truth, we can begin to shape our lives in ways that transcend the constraints of time. The present moment is the only time that is real, and it is within this present moment that the power to create resides. The concept of time is often tied to the idea that things take time to manifest, an idea that holds people back from seeing the immediate potential within them. We often hear that results take days, weeks, or months, but when you come to realize that your thoughts are what shape your reality, you understand that there is no delay in creation. Your thoughts, beliefs, and desires are shaping your world in real time, and the physical manifestation of those desires can occur at any moment. It is not bound by the calendar or the clock. The only thing that governs your ability to manifest your desires is your belief in the possibility of their immediate fulfillment. Look. The moment you decide on a specific outcome, the universe begins to adjust, aligning itself with your new belief. The key here is in the alignment of your thoughts and emotions with your desired outcome. Once you make the decision to have something, you are automatically signaling to the universe that it is done. It's like a switch being flipped in the mind. At that moment, reality begins to shift to accommodate this new thought, this new belief. The idea that it will take days or months is merely a byproduct of the belief that time governs the process. In truth, when you are truly aligned with your vision, the manifestation of that vision can occur almost instantaneously. What appears to be time is actually the gap between your belief and the physical reality catching up to it. Thank you. The illusion of time becomes especially evident when you observe your thoughts and experiences in relation to your desires. When you think about something deeply and you hold a strong belief that it is already yours, you begin to feel the emotions associated with having it. Those emotions draw you into alignment with the frequency of your desire. It's only when you doubt or question the outcome that you create a delay, because you are no longer in alignment with your vision. Doubt introduces the illusion of time, causing a perceived separation between you and your desires. But when you remain steadfast in your belief, time dissolves and manifestation happens now. In the eternal present moment, there is no past and no future. There is only now. The moment you decide what you want, that decision places you in the flow of creation. The process of manifestation has already begun, and your role is simply to remain open, confident, and aligned with your belief. It's not about waiting for the right time or for external circumstances to align first. Everything is happening now, and the more you recognize this, the faster the universe will respond to your desires. The illusion of time is only a barrier when you believe it to be. The truth is, when your thoughts and beliefs are aligned with your desires, there is no delay, no waiting. Everything you wish to create already exists in the eternal present, and the moment you believe it, you step into that reality. You are not bound by time, you are bound only by your own perception of what is possible. The story is this. The Garden of Eden was visited 3,000 years ago by the head of Abel, the best builder in Egypt. The universe is always moving in response to your beliefs. And when you understand that time is a flexible construct, you open yourself up to the infinite possibilities that exist in the here and now. Trusting the process is one of the most powerful principles you can embrace when it comes to manifesting your desires. The act of trusting means letting go of all doubts, fears, and second guessing, and instead allowing yourself to believe wholeheartedly in the outcome that you've decided upon. When you truly trust the process, you stop trying to control every detail of how or when your desires will manifest. And you understand that your role is not to worry about the how, but to remain confident in the certainty that what you want is already on its way. Nay. Come game and game again, have the confidence, do the work, stay the course. Because if you don't, so often people find themselves caught up in the details of their desires. They second guess, they wonder if they are doing the right thing, or they question whether they are worthy of their desires. These thoughts create a sense of resistance and delay because they introduce doubt into the process. The key to manifesting anything you desire is to let go of that resistance and allow yourself to fully trust in the process. When you are filled with doubt or hesitation, you are not in alignment with your desires. But when you trust, when you surrender to the knowing that your desires are already fulfilled, the universe responds by bringing them into your experience with ease and speed. Exercise 4. Exercise is the most useful and effective way to implement the principles of surrender in your life. Relaxation is the gateway to trust. When you relax, you stop exerting unnecessary effort to make things happen. You trust that everything is unfolding in perfect order and you stop trying to force the outcome. Trusting in the process requires you to release control, knowing that you do not need to manipulate the external circumstances to get what you want. The universe is always working in the background, rearranging people, places, and situations to bring your desires to fruition. But when you are too busy trying to make things happen on your own, you may be inadvertently blocking the flow of energy that allows things to manifest effortlessly. Imagine the difference between a tight grip and an open hand. A tight grip is full of tension, resistance, and control. An open hand, on the other hand, is relaxed, receptive, and trusting. The universe works much more smoothly when you open your hand and trust that what you desire is already coming to you. The more you let go and trust in the process, the more you allow space for your desires to materialize. Trust is the key that unlocked the flow of manifestation. The moment you let go of doubt and embrace the belief that your desires are already fulfilled, everything shifts. You no longer focus on the time or the obstacles that may seem present. Instead, you focus on the joy and certainty of knowing that it is done. This shift in mindset is what aligns you with your desires, your vibration. When you trust the process, you send out a powerful signal to the universe that you are in alignment with your desires, and this allows the physical world to rearrange itself to match your inner state of trust and confidence. The key to manifestation is not in striving or overthinking, but in being in a state of trust and certainty. Confidence in the process of manifestation comes from knowing that your desire is already yours, that it is already fulfilled. The more you trust, the more the process flows effortlessly, and the faster you will see the results you desire. Trust is the foundation upon which your dreams are built. Confidence upon which your dreams are built. The moment you let go of doubt, the moment you stop second guessing, is the moment the universe begins to deliver your desires to you in ways you could never have imagined. You must trust that what you want is already on its way and that the process is unfolding perfectly. The more you trust, the faster and more beautifully the manifestation occurs. The most powerful way to bring your desires into your reality is by feeling the emotions associated with achieving your goal right now in the present moment. When you connect emotionally with your desired outcome, as though it has already been fulfilled, you align yourself with the frequency of that manifestation. This emotional connection is the key to speeding up the process of manifestation. By making the connection between you and what you want, by viewing emotions associated with the frequency of that manifestation, it is not enough to simply imagine or visualize your goal. You must feel it deeply, as though it was already part of your experience. This is what becomes your premises. This is what makes your premises reality. Emotions are the language of the subconscious mind. They are the driving force behind every thought, belief, and action that you take. The emotions you feel act as a signal to the universe, broadcasting to the world around you what you are vibrating with. The more strongly you feel your desires as if they are already true, the more powerfully you draw them into your reality. This is why it is so important to immerse yourself in the feelings of having already achieved your goal. For example, if your desire is to experience financial abundance, don't just imagine the money coming to you. Feel the security, the excitement, and the relief of having all your financial needs met. Imagine the freedom that comes with financial independence and the peace of mind that arises from knowing that you are fully supported. The moment you fully embrace these emotions, you begin to vibrate on the frequency of abundance, attracting more opportunities and resources that match this vibration. The emotions you experience act as a magnet, drawing to you the circumstances and people that will help you achieve your goal. The key here is to feel these emotions with as much intensity as possible. Don't hold back. Fully immerse yourself in the feelings of already having what you desire. This emotional charge is what aligns you with the frequency of your manifestation. When you consistently return to these feelings, you create a powerful energy field that is impossible for the universe to ignore. The more you practice this emotional connection, the faster your desires will materialize in the physical world. It's important to remember that the universe responds to the energy you emit, and emotions are the most potent form of energy. This is why feeling the end result now is so crucial. When you can feel the joy, the satisfaction, the love, or the excitement that would come with your desire being fulfilled, you are already living in the experience of that desire. And the third principle is very important for anyone who wants to manifest, is understanding the power of the human mind. You are not waiting for the physical manifestation to occur, you are experiencing it now. And the universe has no choice but to mirror your internal state by bringing your desires into your external reality. You might wonder if this process works instantly or how long it takes. The truth is, once you align emotionally with your desire, the manifestation process has already begun. Time is merely a reflection of your level of alignment. When you feel your desire as if it is already fulfilled, you are creating the internal conditions that allow your goal to show up quickly. The more you embody these emotions and trust that it is already yours, the faster the universe will respond. Feeling the end result now is not just about thinking positively, it's about truly immersing yourself in the emotions that would naturally accompany the achievement of your goal. By doing so, you become a vibrational match to your desire, and the physical world has no choice but to respond to this energetic shift. Your emotions are the key to manifesting with speed and ease, And when you embrace the end result now, you set in motion a powerful force that will bring your desires into your reality. Self-love. Manifestation does not require struggle or strain, it requires faith. The idea that effort is the driving force behind creating your desired reality is a misconception. Effort can often be a form of resistance, a signal that you are trying to control circumstances rather than trusting in the natural flow of creation. Faith, on the other hand, is effortless. It is a quiet assurance that what you desire is already yours. The machine is one spirit in her machine. It produces all that it needs, and the machine produces all that it wants. When you cultivate unwavering faith, your belief becomes the powerful force that drives your manifestations into reality without the need for exhaustive action. Faith alone cures any disease. Faith alone is the great fuser and the great druggist. Faith alone cures any disease. Faith alone cures any disease into reality without the need for exhaustive action. Faith is a state of knowing, not hoping or wishing. It is the understanding that your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings have already set the process of manifestation in motion. When you truly believe in the reality of your desire, you no longer feel the need to push or strive. Instead, you relax into the certainty that everything is unfolding perfectly. Even if you can't yet see the evidence with your physical eyes, this shift from effort to faith accelerates the manifestation process because it removes the barriers created by doubt and fear. Think of faith as planting a seed. When you plant a seed in fertile soil, you don't stand over it anxiously, demanding that it grow faster. You trust that nature will do its work. You may water the seed and ensure it gets sunlight, but you do so with the confidence that growth is inevitable. In the same way, your belief is the seed you plant in the fertile soil of the universe. When you tend to it with faith rather than force, the results will manifest naturally and in their perfect timing. The need for effort often stems from a belief in lack or unworthiness. You may believe that you must earn your desires through hard work or struggle, but this is simply not true. The universe does not operate on the principle of deservingness based on effort. It responds to the frequency you are vibrating with, the energy of faith or the energy of resistance. When you approach manifestation with ease and trust, you align yourself with the flow of abundance. When you approach it with effort and struggle, you send a signal that you don't yet believe your desire is possible or already yours. Letting go of the need for effort does not mean that action is unnecessary. Inspired action, which arises naturally from a place of faith, is different from effortful striving. When you are in a state of faith, the right actions will come to you effortlessly. You will feel guided to take steps that feel aligned and joyful, rather than forced or obligatory. These actions carry a different energy, an energy that propels you toward your manifestation rather than delaying it. Faith is also about surrender. It's about letting go of the need to know every detail of how your desire will come to fruition. When you trust the process and have faith in the unseen, you open yourself to infinite possibilities. The universe can orchestrate events and circumstances far more elegantly than your logical mind could ever plan. Your only responsibility is to maintain the belief that what you desire is already unfolding. The simplicity of faith often escapes us because we've been conditioned to believe that hard work and effort are the only paths to success. But the truth is that manifestation works on the principle of ease. The less you force and the more you trust, the faster your desires will become reality. Faith is not passive, it is a powerful creative force. When you release effort and embrace faith, you allow the universe to bring your manifestations to life effortlessly. Believe deeply, trust fully, and watch as your reality transforms before your eyes. End quote. In the journey of manifestation, it becomes clear that faith, belief, and alignment are far more powerful than any external effort. The key lies in trusting the process, immersing yourself in the emotions of fulfillment, and holding unwavering belief in the unseen becoming seen. Time is only an illusion. And when you feel your desires as present realities, the universe aligns swiftly to mirror that truth. Release doubt, surrender control, and remember that your inner state is the master blueprint shaping your outer world. Trust fully, believe deeply, and allow the effortless flow of creation to unfold. What you seek is already yours, waiting for you to recognize it and step into its reality. Thank you for listening and embracing this message. May your manifestations come swiftly and abundantly. Imagine for a moment that the life you desire is not a distant dream but a reality waiting for your acknowledgement. What if I told you that in the next 24 hours you could ignite a transformation so profound that it feels as though the heavens themselves have moved on your behalf? At the same time, transforming your existing thought patterns, knowing that you are completely indestructible and worthy of existing immediately. This is not mere wishful thinking. It is the law of being. The miracle you seek is already within you, waiting for activation. Let me show you the code to unlock it. The participant is the now object. The life you are living today is a perfect mirror of the beliefs you hold. If you see lack, struggle, or limitation, understand this. These are not external forces acting upon you, but reflections of the stories you have accepted as true. To change the mirror, you must change the image you hold within. Begin by declaring boldly, I am the architect of my reality. The second belief is, there's something wrong with me. I'm stuck in a tragic situation. Too often, we wait for a future moment to change our lives. But the only power you will ever have exists right now. Close your eyes and feel the present moment. In this stillness lies the ability to recreate your world. Declare, my life changes now, and allow the feeling of transformation to rise within you. Do not underestimate the power of your imagination. It is the workshop where miracles are born. Sit quietly and vividly imagine the life you desire. See the details, feel the emotions, hear the sounds of joy and abundance. When you do this, you are not pretending, you are creating. The secret to changing your life in 24 hours lies in living as though your desire is already fulfilled. Ask yourself, if I were already the person I wish to be, how would I feel? Embody that feeling now. Walk, talk, and think as though it is done. Faith is the cornerstone of the miracle activation code. It is the bridge between the seen and unseen. Trust in the unseen forces working on your behalf. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen. Simply rest in the knowing that it is already yours. Give thanks. Gratitude is the fuel that propels your miracle into manifestation. Speak words of thanksgiving for the blessings you have and for those that are on their way. Say, I am so grateful that my life has transformed in ways I could never have imagined. In the next 24 hours, live by these principles. Do not allow doubt or fear to distract you. Focus solely on the feeling of your desire fulfilled. As you do, watch as events rearrange themselves to reflect your inner shift. This is the miracle activation code, and it is yours to use. Your life can and will change if you believe it is already done. Go now, not as someone waiting for a miracle, but as the embodiment of one. Your transformation begins today. Groshimas Nafti. The life you live is a direct reflection of the beliefs you hold within. Every experience, whether joyful or challenging, arises not from chance or circumstance, but from the unseen realm of your convictions. Your beliefs act as a lens through which you perceive the world, shaping your actions, interactions, and expectations. To activate a miraculous transformation, you must first understand that the external world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting the internal reality you have created. Now, consider this. If you believe the world is full of scarcity, you will see lack everywhere you look. Opportunities will seem out of reach, resources limited, and success reserved for others. On the other hand, if you believe in abundance, you will find that opportunities flow to you effortlessly, resources multiply, and prosperity becomes your constant companion. The outer world always aligns itself with the inner narratives you carry, whether consciously or unconsciously. The first step toward transformation is to become aware of the beliefs that dominate your life. These beliefs may be inherited from family, absorbed from society, or shaped by past experiences. Some of them serve you well, while others act as invisible barriers, holding you back from the life you desire. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe about myself, my worth, and my potential? What stories have I accepted as truth without question? Awareness is powerful, but it is not enough on its own. To create a new reality, you must actively question and reshape these inner narratives. This requires courage and persistence, as many of these beliefs feel deeply ingrained. Begin by identifying the beliefs that no longer serve you. For example, if you believe that success requires endless struggle, ask yourself, is this universally true, or have I merely accepted it as true? Look for evidence in your life or in the lives of others that contradicts this belief. When you find even the smallest crack in its foundation, you begin to weaken its hold over you. Once you have questioned a limiting belief, replace it with a new one that aligns with the reality you wish to create. For instance, instead of believing that success is difficult, affirm that success flows to you with ease. Instead of seeing yourself as unworthy of love or abundance, declare that you are deserving of every good thing life has to offer. This process is not about pretending or ignoring reality. It is about consciously choosing the reality you wish to experience. It is important to understand that your beliefs are not fixed. They are malleable, shaped by repetition and emotional intensity. To anchor new beliefs, you must immerse yourself in the feeling of their truth. This is where imagination becomes a powerful tool. Visualize the life you desire in vivid detail. See yourself living it, hear the sounds, feel the emotions, and allow it to become as real to you as the life you currently know. Imagine yourself inspired. See the happiness and the more you engage with this imagined reality, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as truth, and the outer world begins to mirror it. As you reshape your beliefs, you may encounter resistance. The old narratives may resurface, trying to pull you back into familiar patterns. Do not be discouraged. This resistance is simply the mind's way of maintaining what it knows. Persist in your new beliefs, even when the outer world has not yet caught up. Trust that the change is already underway. The mirror of life does not lie. If you wish to see a different reflection, you must change the image you hold within. This is not a quick fix, but a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. With each belief you shift, you move closer to the life you desire. You hold the power to transform your reality not by fighting the world outside, but by mastering the world within. When you take full responsibility for your beliefs, you reclaim the ability to shape your destiny. The world will always mirror your inner state. The question is, what do you choose to believe about yourself and your life? The present moment is the most powerful tool you possess. It is the point of creation, the intersection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with the infinite potential of the universe. Yet it is often overlooked, overshadowed by the regrets of the past or the worries of the future. In truth, neither the past nor the future holds any power. All that exists, all that ever will exist, is now. To harness this power is to tap into the very essence of creation and transform your life. Every moment of your life has led to this one. And in this moment, you have the ability to shift your focus and change the course of your reality. The present is not a fleeting instant, but an eternal now, unfolding moment by moment. It is the canvas upon which your thoughts and emotions paint the masterpiece of your life. When you recognize the unlimited power within the present moment, you reclaim control over your destiny. Creation begins not with action but with focus. Where you place your attention is where energy flows. Most people scatter their focus, consumed by distractions, anxieties, or the illusion of time. They live either in the shadow of past mistakes or in the anticipation of a future that has not yet arrived. This fragmented attention weakens their ability to create intentionally. Becoming more consistently focused leads to greater liberation, leads to greater intentionally. To create miracles, you must bring your focus fully into the present, aligning your thoughts and feelings with the outcome you desire. The key lies in your ability to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled right here and now. It is not enough to hope, wish, or want. You must feel as though your desire is already a reality. Ask yourself, if my dream were fulfilled in this moment, how would I feel? Then embody that feeling fully, whether it is joy, gratitude, peace, or confidence. Immerse yourself in the emotion as if it were already yours. This act of assumption shifts your energy, aligning you with the frequency of your desire. When you assume the feeling of your desired outcome, you activate the creative forces of the universe. The outer world, which is merely a reflection of your inner state, begins to rearrange itself to match the new vibration you hold. Opportunities, synchronicities, and resources start to appear, not by chance, but as a natural consequence of the shift you have made within. Every single event of your life is a testimony to the things which you have made within. This is the foundation of miracles. Not luck or external intervention, but a deliberate alignment with the reality you wish to experience. It is eminently possible that you can manifest objective unconditionally. The challenge for many is to maintain this alignment when the outer world does not immediately reflect the change. Doubt creeps in, pulling them back into old patterns of thinking and feeling. But the present moment does not require proof. It requires trust. Trust that what you have assumed as real within will become real without. Trust that the power of creation is working through you, even when the evidence is not yet visible. It is in the present moment that you find freedom from the limitations of time. The past cannot hold you unless you allow it, and the future is not something you must wait for. Everything you desire already exists in the now, waiting for you to claim it. Time is an illusion created by the mind, a construct that binds those who believe in its power. But when you live fully in the present, you transcend time, stepping into the realm of infinite possibilities. But for you to move fully in the realm of infinite possibilities, this is not a passive state, but an active one. Living in the present requires vigilance, a conscious choice to focus your thoughts and emotions. It means letting go of the need to control outcomes and instead trusting the process of creation. It means releasing attachment to what was or what could be and embracing what is. In doing so, you open yourself to the flow of life, where miracles occur naturally. The present moment holds unlimited power because it is the point where you connect with the divine, the infinite intelligence that permeates all things. This connection is not something you must earn or achieve. It is your natural state when you quiet the mind and align with the now. From this place, inspiration flows, solutions arise, and clarity emerges. You do not need to strive or struggle. You need only to be. Right now, in this moment, you hold the power to transform your life. Whatever your heart desires, whatever vision you hold, it is within reach. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Focus your attention, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and watch as the world shifts to reflect the power you have claimed. Miracles are not extraordinary, they are the natural result of living fully in the present. Miracles are within any amount of our control. Miracles are the natural result of living fully in the present. All creation begins here. All creation begins now. All creation is identified with now. And everything comes together despite obstacles. Unfamiliarity is painful. Unfamiliarity is beautiful. Unfamiliarity is... Imagination is the most profound and transformative faculty you possess. It is not merely a tool for daydreaming or wishful thinking. It is the creative force through which all reality is shaped. The life you live, the circumstances you encounter, and the world you experience are all reflections of the images and emotions you hold within your imagination. It is through this inner vision that you design the blueprint of your life, whether consciously or unconsciously. Whatever you vividly imagine and feel as real within yourself must manifest in your external world. The relationship between imagination and reality is absolute, a universal law as certain as gravity. Yet many underestimate the power of their imagination, dismissing it as mere fantasy. In truth, your imagination is the seed from which all things grow. Every invention, every work of art, and every human achievement began as a thought, an image held in the mind of its creator. The process of creation begins within. To bring your desires into reality, you must first see them clearly in your imagination. But this is not a passive act. It is not enough to visualize a fleeting picture of what you want. You must engage all your senses and emotions, allowing the imagined experience to become as real to you as the physical world. See the details, hear the sounds, feel the textures, and immerse yourself fully in the scene. Imagination becomes the bridge between the seen and the unseen, between what is and what could be. When you consistently hold a vivid image in your mind and infuse it with emotion, you activate the creative forces of the universe. This is not an act of wishing or hoping, but of assuming that what you imagine is already yours. The feeling of ownership, of certainty, is what brings your vision to life. Whatever comes to your mind will activate your imagination. The feeling of possibility, the vision of certainty, is what brings your vision to life. The key to harnessing the power of imagination lies in your ability to feel as though your desire is already fulfilled. This requires you to suspend disbelief and temporarily set aside the evidence of your senses. Your current reality may contradict what you wish to create, but imagination is not bound by the limitations of the physical world. It operates in a realm of infinite possibilities, unrestricted by time, space, or circumstance. When you imagine something vividly and feel it as real, you impress it upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious, in turn, accepts this impression as truth and begins to align your thoughts, actions, and circumstances with the reality you have imagined. The outer world, which is a mirror of your inner state, starts to rearrange itself to reflect the new image you hold within. This process is often subtle, unfolding in ways that may seem coincidental or unexpected. Hitherto, self-consciousness in yourself, but rest assured, there are no coincidences. Every event, every opportunity, and every encounter is drawn to you by the power of your imagination. It is important to recognize that imagination is always at work, whether you use it intentionally or not. Many people unconsciously imagine worst-case scenarios, dwell on fears, or replay past failures in their minds. These negative images, infused with strong emotions, also manifest in their reality, perpetuating cycles of struggle and disappointment. To create the life you desire, you must take control of your imagination, guiding it toward the outcomes you wish to experience. The essence of transformation lies in your ability to feel the reality of your desire before it manifests in the physical world. Feelings are the language of creation, the energy that bridges the gap between your inner vision and the outer world. This is the secret to rapid transformation, to feel as though your wish has already been fulfilled. When you align your emotions with the experience of having what you desire, you activate the creative forces that make it inevitable. The process begins within. Many people mistakenly believe they must see physical evidence before they can feel the emotions of success, joy, or fulfillment. They wait for external circumstances to change before they grant themselves permission to feel good. But this is backward. The key to transformation is to feel it first and then the external world will follow. Your feelings are the seed, the external manifestation is the fruit. Amen. When you live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you shift your state of being. You are no longer yearning, hoping, or wishing for something to happen. Instead, you are embodying the state of having already received it. This creates a powerful alignment between your inner world and the reality you wish to experience. The universe, which mirrors your inner state, begins to arrange circumstances, people, and opportunities to bring your desire into physical form. This principle works because your emotions carry a specific vibration. Every feeling, whether of joy, gratitude, or frustration, emits a unique frequency. When you consistently feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you broadcast a frequency that matches the reality you seek. This frequency acts like a magnet, drawing to you the experiences, events, and resources that align with your state of being. To live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you must cultivate your imagination and your emotional focus. Begin by asking yourself, if my desire were fulfilled right now, how would I feel? Take a moment to explore the emotions that arise. Is it a sense of peace, excitement, confidence, or gratitude? Once you identify the feeling, immerse yourself in it. Allow it to flow through your entire being, as if your dream were already your reality. This is not a fleeting exercise but a way of life. Each day, practice stepping into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Use your imagination to create vivid mental scenes that reflect your desired reality. See yourself living the life you want, engaging in the activities, relationships, and experiences that bring you joy. The more real you can make these scenes in your mind, the more powerful the emotions they evoke will be. It is essential to maintain this feeling even when the outer world appears unchanged. This requires trust and persistence. There may be moments of doubt or frustration, especially when results do not materialize immediately. But remember, creation is a process, and the timing is often beyond your conscious control. What matters is your unwavering commitment to living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. What awakens you believes all your dreams to be true. What awakens you believes all your dreams to be true. Believe. Resist the temptation to fall back into old patterns of worry or lack. These emotions disrupt the alignment between your inner state and your desired reality. Instead, anchor yourself in the certainty that what you have imagined and felt is already on its way. Trust that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring your vision to life, even if you cannot yet see the evidence. Conversely, one of the most effective ways to sustain this feeling is through gratitude. When you feel grateful for your desire as though it has already been fulfilled, you amplify your alignment with it. Gratitude signals to the universe that you are ready to receive and that you trust in the unfolding of your journey. It shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, further accelerating the process of manifestation. Living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled is not about pretending or denying reality. It is about choosing to align with the truth of your inner power. It is about recognizing that the outer world is a reflection of your inner state, and that you have the ability to shape that reflection by changing how you feel. Every moment is an opportunity to embody the feeling of your desire. Every thought, emotion, and action can be a step toward the life you envision. When you make the choice to feel it first, you set the miracle into motion. The universe responds not to your words or wishes, but to the energy you emit. Live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and watch as your world transforms to match the truth you have claimed within. The relic of the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and watch as your world transforms to match the truth you have claimed within. Faith is the invisible thread that connects the seen and unseen, the tangible and intangible. It is not a passive hope or a blind leap into the unknown. True faith is a deep, unshakable knowing, a certainty that transcends appearances. It is the conviction that what you desire already exists in the unseen realm and is merely awaiting its appointed time to manifest in your life. This kind of faith is the foundation of all creation and the bridge that transforms the invisible into the visible. Faith begins with understanding that the unseen is as real, if not more so, than the seen. The physical world you perceive with your senses is but a fraction of reality. Beyond what you can touch, hear, or see lies an infinite field of possibilities. This unseen realm is where your desires, dreams, and intentions take shape before they become tangible. Faith is the mechanism by which you access and draw from this limitless reservoir of potential. To have faith is to trust in the process of creation, even when evidence of your desire is not yet apparent. It is to believe in the reality of your vision despite the contradictions of the present moment. This is not mere wishful thinking, but a deliberate choice to align with the truth of what you know within. Faith calls you to look beyond the temporary and to anchor yourself in the eternal. And when you hold faith, you are not swayed by appearances. The outer world may seem unyielding, filled with challenges and delays, but faith reminds you that these are only temporary. The physical world must eventually conform to the inner reality you sustain through faith. This is because the outer is always a reflection of the inner. What you hold in your heart and mind with certainty will eventually crystallize in your external experience. You speak of the challenges of the world, you declare valiantly. Faith is more than a belief, it is an active force. It requires you to live as though your desire is already fulfilled. This means aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you wish to create. When you act from a place of faith, you move with confidence, not hesitation. You speak as though your desires are a certainty, not a possibility. You speak and feel in harmony with the life you are calling into being. This alignment is what transforms faith from an abstract concept into a powerful creative force. When you embody faith, you send a clear and consistent signal to the universe. This signal is a declaration. I know that what I desire is already mine. The universe in turn responds to this certainty by orchestrating the people, events, and circumstances necessary to bring your vision into physical form. Faith also requires patience and resilience. The timeline of manifestation often does not align with human expectations. There may be periods of waiting, during which doubt and fear attempt to creep in. But true faith remains steadfast. It does not waver in the face of uncertainty. Instead, it grows stronger, rooted in the understanding that unseen forces are at work behind the scenes. To cultivate faith, begin by focusing on the feeling of already having what you desire. Close your eyes and imagine your life as though your wish has been fulfilled. How does it feel? What emotions arise? Hold on to these feelings, allowing them to become your dominant state of being. This emotional certainty is the essence of faith. Faith is the emotional certainty, is the essence of faith. Affirmations and declarations can also strengthen your faith. Speak words of truth and power over your life, affirming the reality of your desires. Say to yourself, "It is done," and believe it with every fiber of your being. These words are not empty. They are creative acts that shape the unseen into form. Faith is the bridge between the seen and unseen because it operates on a level beyond logic and reason. It taps into the infinite intelligence of the universe, bypassing the limitations of the physical world. When you have faith, you align with this intelligence, allowing it to guide and support you in ways that often seem miraculous. In moments of doubt, remember that faith is not about forcing belief. It is about returning to the truth of who you are. You are a creator capable of shaping your reality through your inner conviction. Trust that your desires are already fulfilled in the unseen realm, and let this knowing guide you. Faith is the assurance that what you have imagined and felt within is not just a possibility, but a certainty. It is the bridge that carries your dreams from the realm of spirit into the world of form. Hold fast to your faith, and watch as the unseen becomes visible before your eyes. Gratitude is a transformation of force, a key that unlocks the door to abundance and aligns you with the frequency of miracles. It is not merely a polite expression of thanks, but a profound acknowledgement of the blessings that already surround you and those that are on their way. Gratitude bridges the gap between where you are and where you desire to be, serving as a powerful tool to attract and amplify abundance in all areas of life. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from lack to abundance. Instead of dwelling on what you do not have or what is missing, gratitude encourages you to recognize and celebrate what is already present in your life. This shift in perspective changes your vibration, aligning you with the energy of receiving. What you focus on expands, and as you concentrate on the good in your life, you naturally draw more of it to yourself. Gratitude is not dependent on external circumstances. It is a state of being that you can choose at any moment. Even in the face of challenges or adversity, there is always something to be grateful for. This does not mean denying difficult emotions or pretending that everything is perfect. Rather, it is about finding the light within the darkness, the blessings within the trials, and the opportunities within the obstacles. Gratitude turns even the smallest glimmers of hope into a foundation for miracles. A card from the essay. The practice of gratitude is most powerful when it extends beyond what you can currently see or touch. It is one thing to be grateful for what you have already received. It is another to express gratitude for what you know is on its way. This is the secret to activating abundance, to give thanks as though your desires have already been fulfilled. When you do this, you signal to the universe that you trust in the process of creation and that you are ready to receive. To cultivate this kind of gratitude, begin by visualizing the life you desire. Close your eyes and imagine every detail of your ideal reality. See yourself living it, feeling the joy, peace, or excitement that comes with having your wishes fulfilled. Then, give thanks as though it is already yours. Say, "Thank you for this life. Thank you for the blessings that flow to me so effortlessly. Thank you for the abundance that surrounds me now." As you practice gratitude in this way, you open a gateway to blessings beyond measure. Gratitude is not just an emotional response, it is an act of creation. It aligns your energy with the vibration of abundance, drawing to you experiences and opportunities that match this frequency. The more you embody gratitude, the more you magnetize the outcomes you desire. As you observe your active life, the outcomes become more visible to you, and the abundance flows in more quickly. Gratitude also enhances your awareness of the present moment. It grounds you in the here and now, allowing you to fully appreciate the richness of your current experience. Even if you are working toward a future goal, gratitude reminds you that life is already full of beauty and wonder. This awareness amplifies your joy and deepens your connection to the world around you. Another profound aspect of gratitude is its ability to dissolve resistance. When you focus on lack or struggle, you create tension and block the flow of abundance. Gratitude, on the other hand, softens these barriers. It replaces resistance with receptivity, opening your heart and mind to the blessings that are waiting to enter your life. In this state of openness, miracles become not only possible, but inevitable. In moments of doubt or discouragement, gratitude can serve as a powerful anchor. When you feel uncertain about the future or overwhelmed by the present, pause and take inventory of what you are grateful for. Write it down, speak it aloud, or simply hold it in your heart. This simple act can instantly elevate your mood and remind you of the infinite potential that exists within and around you. Gratitude is the gift of freedom, and the gift is a gift that provides invitation to experience life within and around you. Gratitude is also a practice of humility and connection. It acknowledges the interconnectedness of all things and the many ways in which life supports you. Whether it is the kindness of a stranger, the beauty of nature, or the love of a friend, gratitude deepens your appreciation for the web of relationships that sustain you. This sense of connection amplifies your sense of abundance, reinforcing the truth that you are never alone and that support is always available. As you integrate gratitude into your daily life, you will begin to notice subtle yet profound shifts. Opportunities appear where there were none before. Challenges seem less daunting. Joy and contentment become your default states of being. Gratitude does not just change how you perceive the world, it changes the world itself by transforming your vibration and aligning you with the frequency of miracles. Each day, make gratitude your practice and your prayer. Begin and end your day by giving thanks for all that you have and all that is yet to come. Let gratitude become the lens through which you view life, and watch as it opens the gateway to blessings beyond measure. The more you embody gratitude, the more the universe will mirror back to you the truth of abundance.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about life that most people are too afraid to admit. Not everyone you meet is meant to stay. Some people are placed in your life temporarily, like stepping stones, only to be removed when their purpose has been served. And when they leave, don't you dare grieve. Don't you dare question why. Instead, understand this: God took them out of your life for a reason. You see, detachment is protection. Some of the people you're crying over right now were secretly enemies in disguise. They would have derailed your vision, sabotaged your future, and drained your energy. God saw what you couldn't. He knew their intentions, their doubts about you, and their plans behind your back. When He removes them, it's not punishment, it's preparation. When you lose people, you gain focus. This is your moment to wake up and lock in on yourself. Build your body, sharpen your mind, fortify your discipline. The time you wasted on people who didn't deserve you, take it back. Use it to become someone they couldn't even recognize if they came crawling back. Understand this: the path you're on isn't for everyone. It's lonely at the top because only a few have the strength, courage, and vision to make it there. Some of those people who left, they weren't strong enough to climb with you. Don't waste time pulling people uphill when they're determined to drag you down. Let them go. Rejection isn't rejection, it's redirection. That door that closed, it wasn't a loss, it was a blessing. God redirected you to a path where you don't have to compromise your purpose for the comfort of others. He's clearing the way for you to win, and sometimes that means removing the dead weight. And here's the final truth: strength isn't found in a crowd, it's found in solitude. When you're standing alone, that's when you discover what you're really made of. You don't need validation, approval, or company. You need hunger, drive, and belief in yourself. So the next time someone walks out of your life, don't you dare beg them to stay. Don't chase, don't cry, just smile, because God has plans for you that they weren't meant to be part of. The path ahead is clearer now. Walk it with confidence. When someone leaves your life, it's natural to feel a mix of emotions: confusion, sadness, or even anger. But let me remind you of an essential truth. Their departure is often not just a random event, but a deliberate act of divine intervention. Sometimes losing someone is the very protection you need, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Think about it. How often have you clung to relationships that drained you, distracted you, or even made you question your worth? How often have you ignored red flags, hoping that things would somehow change or that people would magically transform into what you needed them to be? And sometimes God steps in, seeing what you cannot see. You might feel blindsided when someone exits your life. Perhaps it feels abrupt or unfair. But have you considered that their removal is a shield rather than a sword? You don't always know the full extent of someone's influence on your life. Some people seem supportive but harbor jealousy, doubt, or ill intentions. They may appear loyal while secretly wishing for your downfall. When divine intervention steps in, it's often to remove these silent threats, sparing you from damage you might not have even realized was imminent. It's not just about protection from harm, it's also about eliminating distractions. Every relationship, whether platonic or romantic, takes up mental and emotional space. The wrong people in your life act as anchors, holding you back from achieving your full potential. They divert your attention, dilute your energy, and keep you stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. When they leave, it might feel like a loss at first, but what you're actually gaining is clarity. The time and energy you spent on them can now be redirected toward your growth, your goals, and your purpose. Betrayal, too, is often hidden behind smiles and sweet words. But divine wisdom sees beyond what's visible. When someone's intentions are not pure, when their presence in your life carries the potential to harm your spirit or your future, they are often removed to protect you. It might not be on your timeline, and it might not align with your desires, but the intervention is always perfectly timed. The pain of their departure is temporary. The safety and peace that follow are eternal. Sometimes God removes people to prepare you for something greater. The people who left couldn't accompany you to your next level. They weren't equipped to handle your growth, your ambition, or your destiny. Their absence creates space for new relationships, new opportunities, and new blessings that align with who you are becoming. So instead of questioning why someone left, trust the process. Trust that their absence is a form of divine protection. Recognize it as an act of love, not loss. You are being guided, shielded, and set on a path where only what serves your highest good remains. When people leave your life, it's easy to fall into the trap of dwelling on their absence or questioning what went wrong. But what if, instead of focusing on what you've lost, you viewed it as a rare and valuable opportunity to focus entirely on yourself? Losing people isn't an end, it's a beginning. It's the moment when the distractions fade and you're left with the most important project you'll ever work on, your own self-mastery. When someone exits your life, they often take with them the time, energy, and attention you are investing in them. At first, this void may feel unsettling, even painful. But in reality, it's a gift, a blank canvas for you to create a stronger, more disciplined, and more ambitious version of yourself. Without their presence consuming your thoughts, you now have the space to ask yourself vital questions. What do you truly want? What habits are holding you back? Where do you want to be in 5 years? These are the kinds of questions that lead to growth, but they can only be answered in solitude, free from the noise of other people's opinions and expectations. Self-mastery begins with discipline. It's about committing to becoming the best version of yourself, no matter how long it takes or how hard the journey may be. Without the constant distractions of unhealthy relationships or unproductive friendships, you can channel your energy into building habits that serve your long-term goals. Whether it's hitting the gym, reading every day, or mastering a new skill, this is the time to double down on the work that will transform you into someone unstoppable. Ambition thrives in solitude. Often, the people who leave your life aren't meant to stay because their energy doesn't align with your vision. They may have doubted your dreams, ridiculed your ambitions, or simply failed to understand the fire that drives you. When they're gone, you're free to focus entirely on what matters most to you. You're no longer burdened by their skepticism or the lack of support. Instead, you can harness your ambition fully, setting goals so high that they scare you and working relentlessly to achieve them. Losing people also forces you to reflect on your own emotional resilience. Self-mastery isn't just about outward success. It's about inner strength. It's about learning to stand tall even when you're standing alone. It's about developing the mental toughness to keep moving forward regardless of who's by your side. When you focus on yourself, you realize that your strength doesn't come from others. It comes from within. This period of solitude is where transformation happens. It's where you gain clarity about who you are and what you want. It's where you cultivate the discipline to stay consistent, the ambition to aim higher, and the resilience to keep going when the path gets tough. So don't see losing people as a setback. See it as a launch pad for your self-mastery, the ultimate key to becoming everything you were meant to be. Life has a rhythm, a flow that often feels mysterious, yet is profoundly intentional. People enter and exit your life not by accident, but by design. This is the essence of divine timing and alignment, a concept that requires trust, patience, and faith in a greater plan. When someone leaves, it's tempting to resist, to question, or even to fight against the change. But the truth is, their presence or absence is part of a carefully orchestrated sequence meant to guide you toward your purpose. Every person who comes into your life brings a lesson, a role, or a moment of significance. Some stay for a season, while others are there for a lifetime. The mistake many make is trying to keep seasonal people permanently, clinging to relationships that have already served their purpose. Divine timing works to remove these attachments, not to harm you, but to realign you. When you learn to trust this process, you begin to see departures, not as losses, but as necessary adjustments for your growth and your goals. Timing is everything. Have you ever wondered why certain opportunities or connections happen when they do? It's because the universe operates on a timeline far beyond our comprehension. Sometimes people leave because their role in your journey is complete. They were there to teach you something, to challenge you, or to push you out of your comfort zone. Holding on to them after their purpose has been fulfilled only disrupts the alignment of your path. This is where alignment becomes critical. Trusting divine timing doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for life to happen. It means aligning your actions with your goals and your higher purpose. It means focusing on what truly matters and not being swayed by the opinions, doubts, or judgments of others. Too often, people adjust their dreams to fit the expectations of those around them. But when someone exits your life, it's a reminder to recalibrate, not to the opinions of others, but to your own vision. Trusting the flow of life also means accepting that not everyone is meant to see your destination. Some people are simply not equipped to journey alongside you. Their departure is often a blessing in disguise, freeing you from unnecessary distractions or toxic influences. It's like pruning a plant to allow it to grow stronger and bear more fruit. When people leave, they create space for new connections, opportunities, and experiences that align with your purpose. Divine timing teaches patience. It reminds you that everything happens exactly when it's supposed to, not a moment sooner or later. The people meant to stay will stay, and those who aren't will naturally fade away. Your job is not to chase, beg, or force relationships. Your job is to trust the process, to take inspired action, and to stay aligned with your goals. When you embrace divine timing and alignment, life becomes less chaotic and more intentional. You begin to see every exit and entrance as part of a grander plan, guiding you toward the life you were always meant to live. Trust it. There is an unmatched power in learning to stand alone. In a world where many seek validation from others or depend on relationships to define their worth, solitude can feel intimidating. But true strength is not found in the presence of a crowd. It is forged in the moments when you are left with nothing but yourself. The absence of others is not a punishment. It's an invitation to discover the depth of your own power. End quote. When people leave your life, it can feel like a void has been created. But in reality, what's been left behind is space. Space for you to grow, to reflect, and to rebuild. Many fear solitude because it forces them to confront themselves. In the absence of distractions, you're left with your thoughts, your fears, and your unfiltered truth. This confrontation is where real growth begins. It's in these moments of solitude that you learn who you truly are, free from the noise and influence of others. Standing alone doesn't mean isolation, it means independence. It's about realizing that your worth, your identity, and your strength are not tied to anyone else. You don't need someone to tell you what you're capable of. You discover it through your own actions. Solitude teaches you resilience. It forces you to rely on your inner resources, to make decisions without seeking approval, and to navigate life's challenges with self-reliance. True strength is built when you learn to be comfortable in your own company. When you stop fearing loneliness and start embracing it, you'll find that solitude becomes a source of empowerment. It's in these quiet moments that you can hear your own voice more clearly, untainted by the opinions and judgments of others. Solitude allows you to set your priorities, define your goals, and align with your purpose without external interference. I know for me, having a separate, some of the strongest individuals you'll ever meet are those who have mastered the art of standing alone. They faced challenges without a safety net, endured storms without seeking shelter from others, and emerged stronger because of it. They've learned that while support from others can be helpful, it's not essential. What's essential is the strength you cultivate within yourself, the ability to weather any storm because you trust your own capabilities. The absence of others is also a chance to redefine your boundaries. When you're alone, you're not compromising or adjusting to meet someone else's needs. You can focus entirely on what you need, what you value, and what you want to achieve. This clarity is liberating, and it strengthens your sense of self-worth. Solitude is not a sign of weakness. It's a gateway to power. It's where you learn that you don't need to depend on anyone to validate your existence or determine your path. The strength you build in solitude is unshakable because it's rooted in self-awareness and self-trust. When you embrace this, you'll realize that being alone is not something to fear. It's an opportunity to discover just how strong and capable you truly are. Your path in life is as unique as your fingerprints, designed specifically for you and tailored to the vision you carry in your heart. It's a journey filled with challenges, triumphs, and lessons that only you can experience. Along the way, people will come and go. Some will walk beside you for a while others will leave when the terrain becomes unfamiliar or difficult. This is not a reflection of their worth or yours, but simply a truth about life. Not everyone is equipped to follow your path. Your vision is yours alone, and it wasn't given to anyone else. And because of that, not everyone will understand it. They might not see the purpose behind your decisions, the dreams that drive you, or the sacrifices you're willing to make. This can be isolating at times, but it's also liberating. When you understand that your journey is meant to be unique, you stop expecting validation or support from others. You realize that their inability to grasp your vision doesn't diminish its value. The people who can't follow your path aren't necessarily bad or unworthy. They simply aren't aligned with where you're going. Some may lack the courage, the discipline, or the perspective to walk the road you've chosen. Others may have their own paths to follow, which diverge from yours. Either way, their departure is not a loss but an adjustment. It's the universe clearing space around you, ensuring that you're surrounded only by those who genuinely align with your purpose. As you move forward, you'll encounter moments when you're tempted to slow down, to compromise, or to take a detour so that others can keep up with you. Resist this urge. Watering down your ambition to make others comfortable only delays your progress and dilutes your vision. Instead, remain steadfast and focused. Trust that the people meant to accompany you will find a way to match your pace or meet you further along the journey. This understanding requires strength and a willingness to let go. It's not easy to release relationships, especially those that have brought comfort or familiarity. But clinging to people who aren't aligned with your path only creates resistance. It's like trying to carry extra weight up a steep mountain. It slows you down and drains your energy. Indeed, letting go isn't about rejecting others. It's about honoring your own journey and trusting that the right people will come into your life at the right time. Your unique path demands resilience and focus. It requires you to trust in your vision even when it feels like no one else sees it. This trust is what keeps you moving forward even when the road is lonely. And in the moments of solitude, you'll discover something powerful, the clarity that comes from being deeply connected to your purpose. Not everyone can follow your path, and that's okay. Your journey isn't meant to be crowded. It's meant to lead you to the fullest expression of who you are. Trust it, honor it, and keep walking. The right people and the right opportunities will meet you along the way. Rejection is often viewed as a painful blow, a loss that leaves you questioning your worth and direction. Yet if you pause to look deeper, you'll find that rejection is rarely about loss. More often than not, it's a redirection, a necessary push away from what no longer serves you and towards something far greater. It is the universe's way of clearing your path, removing the weight of unaligned relationships, and guiding you toward your true purpose. When someone rejects you, whether it's a friend, a partner, or a professional opportunity, the immediate reaction is often to feel hurt or confused. You might wonder what went wrong or how you could have changed the outcome. But the truth is, rejection is less about you and more about alignment. If something or someone isn't meant to be part of your journey, no amount of effort can force it to fit. Rejection is the universe stepping in to protect you from going down a path that doesn't match your higher purpose. The pain of rejection is temporary, but its lessons are enduring. Each rejection teaches you something valuable, whether it's about resilience, self-worth, or the importance of staying true to your vision. It strips away the illusion that every relationship or opportunity is essential. In reality, holding on to unaligned connections only slows you down and diverts your energy. The universe knows this, and rejection becomes the tool it uses to help you shed unnecessary baggage. What feels like loss is often the beginning of something far greater. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with things you no longer need. Every step becomes harder and your progress slows. Now imagine that backpack being taken away, even if at first you resist. Without it, your steps become lighter and you move closer to your destination. That's what rejection does. It removes what's weighing you down, even if it doesn't feel like a blessing in the moment. This redirection is always towards something better, something more aligned with who you are becoming. A failed relationship may pave the way for deeper self-awareness and a partner who truly complements your growth. A missed opportunity may open the door to a path that aligns more closely with your purpose. When you stop seeing rejection as the end and start seeing it as a course correction, your perspective shifts. You begin to trust the process and embrace the changes it brings. Rejection also builds strength and clarity. It forces you to reevaluate what you truly want and deserve. Sometimes being rejected is the catalyst that reminds you of your own value, that you shouldn't settle for less than what aligns with your vision. It's a powerful reminder to trust in divine timing and to believe that what's meant for you will never miss you. In hindsight, you'll see that every rejection was a necessary step towards something better. It wasn't about taking something away from you. It was about making room for what truly belongs in your life. Trust the process, embrace the redirection, and know that what's waiting for you is far greater than anything you've left behind. In life, the people who lead, the opportunities that slip away, and the rejections you face are not punishments or signs of failure. They are profound lessons and redirections designed to align you with your highest purpose. Every loss, every moment of solitude, and every detour is shaping you into a stronger, more focused, and resilient version of yourself. It's in these moments that you discover your power, build your independence, and align with your vision. Not everyone is meant to walk your path, and that's okay. Trust the timing, embrace the solitude, and see rejection not as an end, but as a necessary redirection towards something far greater. The universe is clearing your way, preparing you for what you truly deserve, and calling you to rise to your fullest potential. Thank you for allowing me to share this message with you. Stay strong, stay focused, and trust the process. What's meant for you is already making its way into your life.